All right, so I am so excited to get to our second speaker of the night. And our second speaker of the night is Ken. And Ken has been a martial artist for 12 years. He will only watch a movie once, and he doesn't like saying good morning. Ken, come on up here and share your fuck up. There you go. Yeah, you can use that.
Just press down. Hey, everybody. I don't mind hearing good morning, and I don't mind a morning greeting. Just for some reason, I don't know, I can't say good morning. I can say good night, though. I'll say good night to everybody here before I leave, I promise. But for some reason, my name's Ken. I'm the co-founder of the content company. We do blog posts, web pages, landing pages, email campaigns, that kind of stuff. We started in 2014, and I'm a father of 4 daughters, ranging in age, wait, here's a good one. Ranging in age from 15, that's the youngest, to 37 is the oldest. And I believe, I'm sure the second 3 were karma because of the first one, because that was kind of a high school mishap. And she's still deeply in my life. She's actually moving to Thailand in a couple of weeks with her boyfriend. So, but yeah. Yeah, there's me. I'm Ken. And the movie thing, you know, I don't know why I can't. There's a handful of movies I've watched. I'll watch more than once and a few times, but I don't know. I just can't do it. This is where we're gonna start. The B word. I'm going to start at the end and then kind of go back and show you how we got to this point because it's pretty wild. This was back in June, I believe. We were in an office, a bankruptcy lawyer's office. That was the culmination of a range of fuck-ups, I guess, but not so much the punch you in the gut kind of tactical fuck-ups. It's more, I'm unique. You guys should start taking notes because this is going to be a master class for you, I think. I'm more of it's a conceptual fuck-up that just kind of is an undertone for everything that I've ever done in this business for 10 years now. We were sitting in that office. I'll come back to that at the end to show you how we got out of that or how we decided to get out of that. So, in the beginning, I was a freelance writer for about 18 years now, so it was even before we started the business. And I was doing pretty well for myself, not too bad. Had clients and stuff, but I mean, on a good note, I recognized what I wasn't good at, which was going out there and getting the clients. I was good at the writing and having a lot of success, good feedback and all that kind of stuff. But I needed someone just like you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find someone that complements you and has the skills that you don't have. So I thought, why not? My wife over here is really good at sales, and builds great. She's here, by the way, so don't say anything about her. She's over there. She builds great rapport with everybody. She's great at networking, and I'm not that good at that stuff. I'm more introverted, and so why not ask her? What could possibly go wrong bringing your wife into the business with you when when you're talking about energy, she's the masculine energy with the sales and going out there, and I'm more at home and behind the keyboard and writing. Well, I'll give a quick what could go wrong. Here's a few things that could go wrong. You kind of, especially you have a home-based business as well, so your personal life and your professional life is all in the same place. We didn't have an office that we went to, and we still don't. So conversations kind of bleed from one room to the next. You're talking about business over here, and then you're talking about it over here, and then you're at the dining room table, and you're talking about it, and things keep coming up, and the balancing act can be really challenging. So what can happen? You can get separated 3 times in 10 years and not live together while you're still running the business together. You can decide, fuck that, I'm not doing the business anymore, and she's buying me out and going through that process, and then it's, okay, well, we come back in, and then, no, fuck you, I'm not doing it anymore, so we go through the process, and I'm buying her out for quite a while. Almost, I think I went through the whole thing. I think I bought you out. I don't even know what you're doing here anymore. But, so, But the thing, when we started, we decided to do that. That was obviously as time went on, but in the beginning, I thought, she's exactly what I need. So but she has the bigger vision, and I was thinking, I'm the talent, I'm the writer. I'm a writer. And back then, it was cool in 2014. Everybody seems to be a writer now, but it was pretty cool, I thought. I'm the writer, so why don't you come in here and you just kind of be like my manager and you get me copywriting jobs and stuff like that, and then we'll make lots of money. But she's, no. If you're going to do it, we're going to do a business. So the content company was born. That she picked the name. I didn't pick the name. I don't know what I thought. I thought of a few other names, but I guess they would. All right. McCarron copywriting. So in the beginning, it was great though, because I was the only writer at first when we're starting out. She's bringing in these clients, bigger clients, and everything's great. I'm doing what I like doing. She's doing what she likes doing. But then we started to grow. Do I have another slide on that? Yeah, the growth and the mistakes. But we started to grow, and we had to bring in new writers to take on the excess work. So we brought in freelance writers, and that wasn't even too bad either. I was pretty good at managing the writers and stuff like that. But the issue that was there, and it's still there to an extent, but it's getting better, is that I was not acting like a business owner. I was acting like a business operator. And what that means is, some of you might be doing it now, in a service-based business where you're the talent, you're the artist, and I was acting like an operator, meaning I was working too much in the business instead of on the business. I'm working too much in the business as opposed to on the business. I didn't do those kind of things. We were doing okay, and things were going along, but they lead to not doing the lead generation that you need to do. You're not networking. This is the first time I've ever gotten up and spoken in front of an audience, by the way. You probably didn't know that, did you? I wouldn't be up here if she knew that. But yeah, so it's that operator mentality where you're working in a business, so you're basically self-employed, because they say, what is there? There's an employee, there's self-employed, there's a business owner, and there's an investor in terms of bringing in revenue and making money. And I was acting too much like an operator instead of an owner, and I wasn't helping her. She was doing a lot of stuff. She's bringing in stuff. She's going to trade shows, and she's going to conventions and things like that. And I'm at home writing, and I'm kind of getting caught up in the minutia of everything a lot. And, that's fuck up number one, and fuck up supremo number one is being an operator and not an owner. If you're going to be a business owner, you got to be a business owner. You have to go out, and you have to take the necessary actions that's going to bring in more business for you, or eventually, as we found out, it's going to dry up, because we had some big, which is fuck up number two as well, is we had some big clients that were bringing in, and this is just, remember this, is just writing, web pages and stuff like that, just the content, no full websites, no images or anything like that, no videos, and we're still, there were clients that were bringing in $20,000+ a month for us, but eventually, these are mostly all digital agencies that are our clients, and eventually, when they get to a certain point, you help them get to a certain point, they say, you know what, I think we're going to bring in some in-house writers instead, because that's, they have more control over the writers, whatever, various reasons, but there are times when just overnight, our monthly revenue could be cut in half, because even though they love what we do, if they can find something better for far less price and far less, just work on their end, they have greater control over it, they're going to do it. And the biggest fuck up, and maybe this is the biggest fuck up right here, is getting in your comfort zone and not getting out of it. Because it's so, when I'm behind the computer, when I'm in the computer, it's like this. This is the kind of feeling. It's so comfortable and cozy, and you're protected from the mean world out there, and all people like you looking at me and stuff right now when I'm talking. And, you're behind the screen, and you can send emails. What do you need to talk to somebody for? You can send an email. that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Let's have a half an hour meeting that you could have for a 2-minute email, but I'm starting to understand, I know, yeah, other people understand that too, in terms of the time wasting, but I'm understanding it more as we go along, why people like to be talked to, and I have read, they like to be acknowledged when they're paying you money all the time, even if you're doing a good job, which we were and we do. I think I've heard that perceived indifference is the biggest reason that clients leave, whether it's an agency or a company like ours. And that's probably what happened a lot of the time with me, because I think we're doing a great job. Am I doing a good job? Yeah, you're doing a good job. So I just kind of let them go, and they order, and then all of a sudden somebody else is courting them. And I guess I'm not being a good boyfriend is the idea to the clients that we had, because I'm not making them feel special, and they take off eventually. Who would have thought? So what that leads to, but this type of behavior going on and on I'm sure any business owners, you've had a feast or famine type. Well, the ladies that were up here before me. Sorry, I say girls because I'm old, and that's just how we talked about in the olden days. So, the ladies that were up here before us. I'm sure you're talking about the feast or famine. Like there's some months where it's just raining money and you're just sitting there. And then my wife, Kara, I couldn't even buying her stuff, and we're going to New York City, and I'm sending her and my teenage daughter to a Justin Bieber concert at Madison Square Garden, and you're just like rolling, you're balling. And then the next month you make like $2,000 or something like that. And then holy shit, what the hell's going on? You're doing all your, and I could probably get a job as a mathematician right about now because of the calculating that I have to do. I can't tell you how many times, I'm sure some of you understand what I'm talking about. This money, okay, if I put this money over here, and that, and I know this is coming in on Tuesday, and then that'll cover that. Holy shit, that is so tiring. It gets to the point where it's just, it makes me just go crazy. The next day, it's another thing, and then here's another vulnerable thing. Has anyone ever had their bank account frozen by the CRA? It fucking sucks. If you haven't, when you wake up one day and you can't get into your own bank account, and then you call them and, yeah, we froze your bank account. Okay, how do you expect me to pay you any money or pay this tax bill if I can't even do business? I don't have a bank account. And then you have to go through the whole process, and then they open it again. But yeah, that's another thing that's happened to us in the past. Which leads us to the recent fuck up from last year, because who would have ever thought that a friggin' robot is going to take my job? We talk about robots taking our jobs. Robot writers taking our jobs, and initially, we slept on it. We slept on the AI. That's a fuck up, big fuck up recently because we're all about the human touch. That was in our core values, was the human touch and the human element. It's how you could always get in touch with a real human, and human. So then everybody's using these robots, and AI writing generally stinks too. It's just because it kind of looks like a blog post, or it kind of seems like it has the information in there. So you just ding, 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 and you don't have to pay anybody. But it's not that great on its own. But we were vehemently opposed to AI writing, like, getting back here and get the fuck away from me, please. AI writing, do not come near me. We would tell anybody that would listen, AI writing, it's not going to last. You know what's going to happen? The search engines, they're going to ban it, and then everybody who puts all their websites and everything with AI writing, they're going to get banned, just like the Google updates that they've had in the past. And none of that seems to be happening yet, though. So we slept on it, and then all of a sudden, earlier this year, the sales revenue just starts to kind of get a little less and a little less. Not to mention, we rented our house, and we lived there for 9 years, and so we were paying pretty much 9-year-ago rents. And then they were going to move back in, their son, so we had to get out. And now we're paying today-ago rents, and it's a big fucking difference. So those things are going up, expenses are going up, and the revenue is going down and down and down. And we get to the point where we're thinking, we got to do something here because there's tax bills, there's credit bills, and the juggling act every month that I'm trying to do with the math, trying to make everything fit and work. And then that's when we decided, let's go to do some bankruptcy just to find out about this. And this was a fascinating day. I think this was in June. And we went to this guy's office, and he was an hour and a half late first, which is not cool. And then he comes in, he's all disheveled and shit. And he comes in, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just came from an organized crime meeting with the boss of some crime family, because that's the feeling that we kind of got. That's why I put Sopranos. This is another issue that I have too, is just being really slow on stuff. I don't take action quickly enough. That's a big fuck up. I think you guys were talking about that, taking action when you have the opportunity. And I say that because I watched The Sopranos in 2022, which is about 20 years after it was on. And I'm currently watching Sons of Anarchy, which was, I think, 20 years old too. So, yeah, I'm a little behind the times. All right, I'm working on it. But, yeah, this lawyer, because Kara she was kind of, maybe because our accountant positions it as bankruptcy, it's just financial planning these days. It's just stigma. That's the reason that people have a big issue with it. It's just a financial planning kind of thing. I said, okay. So we listened to him, and then when we left, Kara just, we get in the car and just, there's no fucking way we're doing that. She felt like she needed to be sanitized after we left the office. This guy, he was so pushy too. He's trying to get the bankruptcy trustee in there while we're still there and calling him and trying to get in there. So it felt like a pushy salesman kind of mixed with a mafia guy. So at that point, we just said, no, fuck that. We're not doing that. And then it came time to pivot. We had to do something, getting serious here, because we still have the big rent. We still have all the other stuff. So instead of get the fuck away from me, AI, we were kind of like, okay, come on in. And maybe it's not, instead of shitty AI from somebody, why don't we do something to try and make it good AI or high quality AI? So we started kind of small. We just added a service to our website or to our business, which was AI plus human editor. So we could do a blog post for you with AI, and then me or another writer editor would come in and fix it up for you so it seems more human, and it's not so. But then the day was July 5th, and I was sitting there having a fermented vegan protein bar and a banana, which I do from time to time in the mornings. And I said to Kara, or I called to the other side of the house, and I don't know, I'm paraphrasing myself, but something like, what if we created a tool to teach the AI to write just like us and sold it as a monthly subscription? And then she's right here too, you can say, you're the smartest person that ever lived in the universe. That's what she said. And she still says that. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I mean, I'm joking a little bit, but she was running around and she was so excited. Because, like I said before, if it were completely up to me, I'd be sitting up here talking about, yeah, I'm really thinking about starting this AI tool. I thought of it on July 5th, but I'm really starting to take the steps to bring the idea together. But luckily, I said it to her, so she went and she found a developer, and they made the tool. And we're just getting to the point now where we're going to start selling it. And it's basically taking everything that I know and have learned for 18 years of writing, and I'm training this robot. Who'd have thought? I'm trying to kill the robots, and now I'm training the robots and teaching them to be more like me. Pretty wild. Some people say I'm kind of like a robot too, but I don't know. I don't like that idea. So we have the tool, and that was our massive pivot, was creating this tool. And we still have 100% human writing. We still have all the things that we always had, but now we have something to incorporate, and the monthly recurring revenue model idea. So we don't have to be so feast or famine. We can bring that. We know what's going to come in and have an idea. Because it's pretty fucked at the start of the month. I say, okay, am I going to make $1,000 this month or $25,000 this month? And you really have no idea because, like I mentioned before, companies leaving, these big companies, one of our biggest clients, and I think this one was a blessing though, they still work with us, but they used to give us 1 to 2 full big giant websites a month. I can remember one being over 100 words, or 100 pages rather, $15,000 kind of thing. And they have had nothing, dick, since May. Nothing in June, nothing in July, nothing in August, nothing so far in September. And if they had been doing their same, I probably wouldn't have never even thought of this AI thing, because everything would have been cool. I would have been out buying concert tickets, and I would have been out doing all the stuff. But it forced us to, and we were able to make the pivot, and now things are looking up, and everything's cool. But here's the lesson for me. The lessons are deep in terms of, like I mentioned, the owner-operator, but it's the comfort level. Even though when you know the result is not comfortable, because it happens all the time, I'm hoping and praying that there's going to be lots of sales this month, but I know what it feels like if there isn't, because it's happened before, but you're comfortable being uncomfortable because you're not out there doing something different. Obviously, this is, for me, is something doing that I would normally consider horribly uncomfortable, standing up here talking to everybody. Actually, it's not so bad now that I'm up here. I'm probably, yeah. And to pivot, and when you see something's not working, I mean, this is repetitive from what you guys were saying, but if you see something's not working, you just have to make a pivot, and you have to do it fast. Success loves speed. That's a motto that goes around from all the personal development people. And in the end, we've also done tons and tons. Kara's done way more than me, personal development stuff. She's been to 1 billion Tony Robbins things and cruised there. And but we've been, for the past year and a half, lots of meditation and lots of Joe Dispenza and lots of all that kind of stuff, and on and on and on, and growing and changing. And now that I'm open, I'm a little more open. Let's not be silly. I'm not open. I'm a little more open than I have been, and everything's working out great. Our relationship is better than it's ever been, which is good. Which a lot of iterations of this relationship, like, holy shit, 3 times. Even one of the times we got one of those, third houses. I think you were saying like Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow did it. You had a third place, and we lived in the main place, and so the kids didn't have to leave, and we would leave, and then it was pretty wild. But it's the pivot and the comfort level. I was thinking today, if you're getting into your business and you're feeling too comfortable and everything's feeling like it's just, take a look at what you're not doing, because you shouldn't be comfortable. That you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I remember when I was a tad chunkier than I am now a couple years ago, and I started with the intermittent fasting. And I thought, there's no fucking way I can do that, because you go 16 hours a day without eating. That sounds crazy. In a row, too. But I put on a whiteboard, you have to be comfortable with the feeling of an empty stomach. Get comfortable with the feeling of an empty stomach. And I would just kind of do that, and eventually it wasn't a big deal at all. But it's just getting comfortable with the discomfort. And who knows? I mean, we have a convention. We're going to a digital marketing convention next week in Mexico. Actually, our first time at a big all-inclusive resort thing. We've been, this is 25 years we've been together too, by the way. This isn't, thank you. And so much with the kids and so much with everything, and we just have never really gotten around to it. And this is a working trip, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. But again, I'm booked, she's booking the shit out of me now. I have doing this tonight, and then I have a talk there, and I have a bunch of virtual ones, so yeah, that's our story. The big fuck up of a business is being an operator and not an owner, if you're a business owner. I mean, obviously there are people that are going to be good COOs and all that stuff, and if that's your thing with your business partners and say, I'm taking care of operations, that's great. But basically, I was just creating myself a job. I'm a self-employed business owner, I guess, because all I'm doing is working, and it's not cool. If I can come out and do this kind of thing once in a while and bring in more clients, I like this a lot better than sitting behind a computer. So thank you very much for being here for my first talk. I appreciate it. Oh, I have to keep this?
That was so awesome, Ken. Thank you. I honestly, I didn't know what to
I
expect.
told you it was
Yeah.
going to be good once I got up here.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling, but
She
I
was nervous
nervous.
because I can't, when I'm going, like, do this dry run through, I'm like, I can't fucking do
Yeah,
that.
he wouldn't do a dry run. I'm
I
like,
can't.
fuck it. It's
Even
fuck up
on,
night.
on the way here. No, I'm not, I can't do that. I can't. And then, because that goes back to my movie watching shit probably too. I got to do it again. I'm not doing it twice. So I say, it's okay. Don't worry. I'll be fine once I get up there. I'll be fine once I get up there.
I had faith. kind
Well,
of.
Kara, here's a funny thing. Because I used to be, when I get comfortable with people, now I guess I'm comfortable with all of you, so I can be myself. She would say every time I come into the room, oh, it's the Ken Show, it's the Ken Show. And I was actually thinking of starting a podcast called The Ken Show and just being my stupid self too. But yeah, so this is my private talking, my private self out here in public. So it wasn't too bad, actually. Thank you.
I think you should do it more. That was awesome. I will also say we do a special event in February that's like a Valentine's theme where people talk about their career fuck-ups and personal fuck-ups that kind of intermingle, but these guys weren't available, so you got it early in September. So I'm really excited to open it up to some Q&A. I'm sure there's going to be some really good questions. Maybe there's going to be some questions directed to Kara too. We'll see. So yeah, let's open it up. Annika is going to come to you with the mic.